and I engage with other Protestants in dialogue. The thing that comes up the most is Mary. I'll talk about a turning point with those devotionals and the Seven Sorrows. I was focused on those, but I just couldn't get that personal connection. And I was trying. I'm praying, and I'm praying to the Blessed Mother for that connection. I'm asking, and I still think I had some barriers up. But a turning point for me, and I wrote about this too. I've got Mary on my desk so I can see her every day. We had a turning point, and it actually happened when in Adoration. I think I wrote about this. I had a blog post. It was a real subtle turning point, but I saw it, and when I saw it, it absolutely made sense to what I was seeing. So much so that, like, immediately after, I wrote it all down and then kind of really focused and reflected on it. But the main Adoration was another thing I did right early on, and kind of reverting was I joined the Adoration team, and I'm a revert, and I'm not confirmed yet, so I'm not official. But I'm like, what can I do to spend time in prayer and really thinking about everything that's happening to me in RCIA? And so I'm doing Adoration, and I do an hour a week. But I'm going in and out all the time, anyways, as I'm kind of learning, and it's where I find peace and I enjoy it. But I'm in Adoration one day, and a young woman, or middle-aged woman, comes in. I could tell she had a family. Well, and there's a reason why, because she said it, and I'm not messing the story up. I wrote it better than I'm telling it, but I'm in Adoration, and I'm kind of observing this, and this woman comes in, and she comes to the front, and Mary, the statue of our Blessed Mother, is on the left, and the host, of course, is front and center, and she goes to Mary first, and she lifts up the rosary that's hanging, and every week I'd never seen anyone lift or take this particular rosary. There's rosaries in the back, and people can use those, and she went straight to Mary, and it's almost in a like a longing, asking way, and very purposeful. And she took the rosary, and she knelt down, and she started to pray, but she just became very emotional, and she started to cry. And I had this moment where I wanted to reach out to her, but again, sometimes I think we question ourselves, or we doubt ourselves, and maybe we think we don't have the right credentials. And I'm in this moment where I'm like, why wouldn't I just reach out? And luckily, my Adoration partner, who was there for the day, immediately runs, goes up to her by her side, kneels down next to her, and begins to pray with her. And in that moment, with so much clarity, I saw our Blessed Mother and what she does. I absolutely saw. So the woman's in prayer, and I can hear kind of conversation about what she's praying about. And I hear that, there's something that's happening in her family, and she's very distraught. And she's praying to Jesus. She's praying in front of the host. But I saw in that moment, Mary bring her to Jesus, which is what Mary does. And it's all connected. I mean, everything, the devotionals and everything, praying to her, and everything that I learned up until this point, it wasn't alive until that moment, until I saw our Blessed Mother lead this woman to Jesus, which is what she does. And it absolutely made sense. And like intercessory prayer made sense, and holding her in such reverence and such esteem. And then going back after this and connecting all the pieces, like Stevie Ray writes a ton about Mary as the new covenant, and all of that just like came alive. And I totally understood then everything about Mary in that moment. It just came alive. So it was a beautiful moment. And I'm like writing it, it's all happening in my head. And as soon as it was over, when I was done with Adoration, I was writing it all down. But it's the best I could do to, explain the experience that I had to others who wouldn't understand.